Welcome back, Popcorn Theorists. This is Dave from Nerdbox, bringing to you part 2 of our involving Stu Macher Scream 7 Mega Theory. And on this episode, we bring you the biggest twist in the entire theory, and that is, what if Kirby Reed is Stu Macher's secret accomplice? Stu Macher survived, and real-life studies prove that the weight of the TV would not have crushed his head. And he would not have been electrocuted by the TV, especially since the sparks of the TV would have been coming out of the back of it, not from the tube itself. Matthew Lillard admitted that they once planned for his return. And in Scream lore, like many of our subscribers have said, if you don't shoot them in the head, they come back. Stu was raised in a wealthy, connected family. Crime scene photos in Scream 1996 are inconsistent. His arms fell toward his head when the pictures showed that they were at his side. There was a lookalike at the party who left in a car full of drunk kids who may have been in an accident and swapped out with Stu's body. Dewey refers to Stu in the present tense in Scream 2022. Then there's the Stu's clues. Multiple films reveal a Ghostface talking to a target on the phone in the same room, but he's never heard by that victim. Scream 2, 3, and 6 have calls where the Ghostface on the phone knows the details that only Stu would know. Scream 3 and 4 has scenes where our killers can be accounted for while Ghostface strikes. The voice modifier, a small but crucial detail with Ghostface sitting up and sounding like Darth Vader, and Dewey's voice in the trailer could be a tie to a new voice prosthesis that allows wearers to upload voices, or can be a ventilator to help him breathe. And today, we continue that descent into Stu's return and how he's been helped in the last several years. To understand Stu's motive and plan, we have to first understand Kirby Reed, the unlikely connective tissue through the entire modern-day Scream timeline. We're not talking about the original films, we're talking about Part 4 and after. Kirby was a secret horror-obsessed student of Woodsboro, and that being hidden until the final act is a misdirection done on purpose to hide that love and common interest with Charlie, which would have been on the level of Billy and Stu.
Oh wow, Kirby. You got some classics here.
Yeah.
Suspiria, Don't Look Now.
You know it. I could trivia your ass under the table, cinema boy.
Oh yeah?
In Scream 4, she's quippy, fearless, and a bit of a fangirl for Sidney, until she's betrayed by Charlie. She gets stabbed, collapses, and we're left assuming she's dead. Until Scream 5, where we see a thumbnail to a video on Richie's computer while he's watching YouTube about the stab films. Kirby survived, barely, but that is just the beginning, and her turning point comes with one phrase that's whispered around Woodsboro: Angel of Death. Every time Sidney Prescott returns to town, someone dies. Sidney's arrival in Scream 4 puts Kirby on edge and eventually leads to her being attacked because she happens to be in the blast radius of Sidney's curse.
Yeah, us too. What's your favorite scary movie?
It was the killer's voice. From Stab? Or, I mean, you know, from your life. I'm Kirby, by the way. I'm their friend.
And the killer didn't call you?
No. Is that a bad thing? Does that mean that I'm not gonna live as long as these two?
Real or imagined, and it changes her forever. She joins the FBI, all because of Sydney. Not because she wanted to save people, but because she wanted to understand monsters, track them, study them, predict them, and ultimately control them. Now let's get into this chapter that flips the entire franchise on its head, and how Kirby Reed, fan favorite, trauma survivor, and horror expert, became the disciple of Stu Macher. And one of the biggest rules in the Scream franchise is that it often mirrors the horror landscape and sometimes the real world. While it did not make it to the big screen, in Hannibal Lecter's novel series by author Thomas Harris, Clarice Starling, one of the strongest, sharpest heroines in modern crime fiction, slowly becomes entangled with Hannibal Lecter's influence. Not through brutality, but through connection, fascination, a dark intellectual compatibility with a dark twist. Their relationship becomes a warped psychological love affair based on trauma, curiosity, and influence. And just like Clarice reading into the darkest minds, Kirby begins to pore over every Ghostface attack, every crime scene photo, and every inconsistency from 1996 and onward. This is where she finds it, the same thing that the audience has known and noticed for years. Something about Stu Macher's death does not add up. Remember, Kirby Reed is a Stab fanatic, and I am sure that she watched every DVD commentary in that universe, devoured every behind-the-scenes leak, every tabloid clipping, and every online forum theory, just like us fans would do with Scream. So when she revisits the original Woodsboro murders with an FBI-trained eye, she spots the same red flags. Missing time windows, contradictory testimonies, power influence from the Macher family, and possibly sealed hospital records. What she uncovers isn't just a theory, it's Woodsboro's darkest secret. Stu Macher survived, and his parents used wealth and political influences to cover it up. And here's where that Hannibal Lecter and Clarice parallel becomes undeniable. In the same way that Clarice eventually meets Hannibal under the guise of duty, Kirby now deepens her investigation, armed with the truth and obsessed with the mythology of Ghostface, tracks Stu down. Or maybe the FBI has him locked up somewhere, but this is where everything changes. When Kirby meets Stu Macher face to face, she doesn't find a washed up, broken survivor. She finds a voice of charisma, a manipulator, a cult leader already working from the shadows, just like the original Scream 3 script had intended. And Kirby, already primed with her own trauma, her fascination with horror, and her thirst for understanding, falls under his influence. And the symbolism of the Macher name becomes too perfect to ignore. The name Macher literally means a powerful, influential person, a mover, a shaker. And Kirby, traumatized, brilliant, directionless, becomes drawn into Stu's orbit. Not through romance, but through obsession, through admiration, through the intoxicating relief of finally having answers. So Kirby becomes the thing that she's been trained to hunt. One of Stu's disciples. Not because she's weak, but because she is the most dangerous version of herself that she's ever been. Now that we've determined how Kirby Reed became Stu Macher's disciple, we can dive into the explosive center of this theory, Stu's return, his rage, and the destruction of the Ghostface cult that he created. And to understand what's happening in Scream 7, we have to go all the way back to the original trilogy. You'll remember that the early drafts of Scream 3, Kevin Williamson planned a completely different ending, one that brought back Stu Macher as the mastermind behind the Ghostface cult operating from inside the prison. Stu was supposed to be the puppet master, the one orchestrating the college-age killers across the country, the man behind the mask, even when he wasn't wearing it. So here's the kicker. This isn't being retconned for Scream 7, and this isn't fan fiction or just a fan theory. This was the original direction for the franchise and the ending of the trilogy. And the cult was always there. The seeds were planted in Scream 2, with Mickey openly talking about being recruited by Mrs. Loomis, hints at the broader networks that were online.
So you two are in this together?
Yeah, well, had to have financing. Tuition's expensive. Deb there, my backer. We met on the internet, psycho website, classifieds.
There's only an estimated 97 active serial killers in the country today, so Mickey here was quite a find. Definitely one on the way up.
The seeds of the cult were already there, which means Stu didn't die in 1996 because the studio was literally planning for him to return in the next film. They never would have started that cult arc around a character who wasn't alive and Roman who wasn't a thought in Kevin Williamson's head at that time. But eventually, the cult evolves and splinters, and by the time that we reach Scream 4, a new generation of Ghostface disciples are already rising. And by the time we hit Scream 5, Richie becomes the new Ghostface, the martyr in the cult. He's a filmmaker, he's an archivist, he's a worshiper of the narrative, and he believes in honoring the legacy, but in reality, he's adopting a leadership vacuum that feels empty and may have been left behind after Scream 4, and the myth of Stu may have grown to where he is just an afterthought. And that's what drives Stu mad. His legacy is erased, his influence is lost, his image replaced by Richie's fanboy theatrics.
They just laugh at us. And why? Because we love something? We're just a fucking joke to them? How can fandom be toxic? It's about love. They don't fucking understand these movies are important to people.
Richie.
And we're gonna help them. Hollywood's totally fucking out of ideas, so we decided we'd give them some new source material to follow, you know? Bring it back to basics. Because that's how you make a great stab movie, Sam.
Stu Macher, the original Ghostface architect, and we're going to talk about that more in a future popcorn theory about him and Roman, becomes a forgotten prophet. In Scream 6, we meet Jason and Greg, and sure, it was brief, but they are a part of the cult, and they are Richie worshippers. They're not making their own movie, they're finishing the one that Richie started with their own rules and a new mythology in Richie's image. And as we discussed in the previous video, it's likely that Stu is in the kitchen because of the alibis of the killers in that film and because of this single line.
We have to finish the movie.
Who gives a fuck about movies?
This line isn't about Stab, and it isn't about fan films, it is about the cult itself. It's Stu's fury at what his creation has become, and Kirby Reed enables him the power to unleash that rage against his own creation. As an ex-FBI agent with deep knowledge of sealed Woodsboro cases, Ghostface copycats, online cult cells, and Richie's network, Kirby becomes the perfect tool for Stu.
Special Agent Kirby Reed, FBI. I work out of the Atlanta office.
You lost.
Your two Vics were residents of my city before they moved here for college. I have been investigating their online activity for the past few months.
Why?
They take a special interest in Ghostface attacks.
She knows where every cult member is, she knows the safe houses, she knows the encrypted forums, and she knows the passwords. She becomes his GPS. And that is not without consequence, because in Scream 6, we learned that she was fired for being mentally unstable.
Sam, you're not safe.
I heard from the Atlanta field office. They said Agent Reed's been on a downward spiral ever since the Woodsboro murders last year.
What are you talking about?
They fired Kirby 2 months ago for being mentally unstable. What? She's no longer with the FBI.
That line is not a throwaway. It is a key, and while some may just dismiss that as Detective Bailey trying to manipulate the situation, he did launch an investigation into who she was while he was at the precinct. But here's something that you may have missed. When they finally come face to face that one last time, Kirby's personality changes from panicked to angry.
We know it's you, Kirby. One of them knocked me out.
Kirby, stop! Get away from the girls!
What are you doing?
Did you kill Quinn? Did you kill my daughter?
Jesus Christ! Whatever he's been saying to you, don't listen to him. He's probably the killer.
Did you notice it? That slight change in tone and the look on her face, the growl in her voice when she outs Bailey as one of the Ghostface? And it's clear.
Whatever he's been saying to you, don't listen to him. He's probably the killer.
Stu gave Kirby purpose after trauma, and her FBI dismissal shows she's crossed lines in some way, but that doesn't change her role. Kirby is his informant, allowing Stu to systematically dismantle the cult, and Stu isn't just returning in Scream 7, he's declaring war on everyone that has distorted his legacy, and he's come back to finish Sydney once and for all. Now let's recap the clues. Kirby's secret horror fandom and stab franchise love in Scream 4. She survived Scream 4 with trauma. She joins the FBI to stop killers. She tracks Ghostface killings. And she was dismissed by the FBI for being mentally unstable. And here's one final layer to throw in there. Stu is older now. This last act, his final performance, is his legacy play. So in his mind, there are only two things left to do. Destroy the cult that forgot him, finish what he started with Sidney Prescott. And Kirby Reed, scarred, brilliant, obsessive, is standing right by his side when the stage is set. Now, what did you think of this theory? Let me know by dropping it in the comments. Do you think that Kirby Reed is the perfect person to be Stu's accomplice, setting the stage for all the attacks on the cult, and also allowing Stu to find where Sydney is in this latest film? Because as we know, she went into hiding. So drop it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Or is this something that, hey, I don't want to see Kirby as a Ghostface. I love her too much. I'd rather see a spin-off TV show or a movie where we see Kirby tracking down Ghostface in other parts of the country. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And don't forget that we have shirts in our store that you can go and purchase. We have Jill Nation, we have All Aboard the Stu Train, we have Stu Lives and Stu's Dead shirts. Go ahead and grab one today. And to all of our new subscribers, thank you for joining us for another great Scream video here. Again, share your thoughts on our comment section here. Shoot over to the Facebook page, shoot me a direct message if we could talk there, because some people have left me some lengthy messages, and I appreciate you, and I love you for it. And anyway, until the next, see ya.